So all the computer, everything locked away.
You mean it got broken?
No.
Oh, no, it got collected away.
Really angry. So I actually had to have a talk with him. Yeah, he got really, really angry. So we agreed that we locked all the computer, all the iPad away.
You could just set a new password that they don't know.
Yeah, and somehow my husband had a hard time setting a new password.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
Okay.
He's not a tech savvy either.
Okay, now you need to be the expert in the house.
No, I need to learn. Like last time I said, I gotta learn.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah. So that's the one thing that I'm trying to get my husband to learn Dharma on the speech.
Yeah.
On the speech.
Yeah. Yeah, Vilas, I was talking to Tina the other day, because Tina keeps telling me she's not very good at computer, cannot do the Skype, this and that. And I said, I already heard you say that 10 times. So you're telling yourself you're not good at it. So you're programming yourself to be that way. So I said, absolutely. Like the consciousness is such that if you believe it, you're that, then you're that. So don't say that. Just think you can do it, and then you'll be fine from now. And then you can be the expert, in fact, if you want to say I'm the expert.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, I get that part. So I'm trying to not be so negative.
It's not being negative, Tina. It's like, what do you think you become? That's what the consciousness is going to do ultimately all the time.
What do I think I become?
Yes. And in that moment only you become. If you think you're a wife, you become the wife. If you think you're a friend, you become a friend. If you think you're a dentist, you become a dentist. It's so fast.
Wow.
It's in your thinking. You think you're a dentist, and you think you're a mother, and you think I'm this, you think I'm that. You keep on thinking that, and then you become that.
Wow.
And that's how we all are. So we make what we strongly believe happen. And that's all we keep on doing all the time. So the stress and the pain is to make sure what we think happens. Okay. So there is a Pali saying, Yad bhavam tad bhavati. Or it's also there in Sanskrit in the same way. So what it really means is that what do you feel, or what do you deeply feel? I deeply feel I am the software engineer, and I become. And nobody can now erase it from my mind that I'm not. So if you believe that you cannot work on your iPad, you have made sure that you will not work on it. See, the fun part, the beautiful fun part is, while you were pregnant, Tina, did you know what the child is going to be?
I had dreams, and the dream told me.
Okay, you had dreams, but do you really know that that's how your child is going to be? Okay. Do you know what is your first child going to be 10 years from today? No. Would you know that your child is going to stay in US or is going to go somewhere else?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. And in that case, how do you consider it to be your child if you don't know? That's all what it is. If we are so much securing our life on a daily basis, but yet don't know what we are going to be and what others are going to be within the family, then how do you consider anything at all as yours? And this is where the defiled consciousness comes into existence. So the consciousness has totally misplaced itself. To begin with, there was no children at all in your life.
Right.
And now you have children.
Right.
After some time, like what Ayu is now, his parents are somewhere else, his mother-in-law is somewhere else, and he and his wife is somewhere else. That's exactly what's going to happen. You were childless, you would be childless in the end.
Unless they stay in the same city.
Even then, it's not going to work. Even then, it's not going to work.
So,
In which
what?
sense?
In what?
So what does that? What are we implying?
What I'm implying is that he's a separate individual. He or she has their own liking and disliking and need not have to go by what the parents feel about their likes and dislikes. Just like Tina, you wouldn't really bother about what your mother and father is going to say to you, because you have your life. If they're still alive, you're not going to bother. You might just listen to them, but you are going to do what you think should be done. And same thing with Aryu. I don't think so he's going to ask his mom every 10 minutes, hey mom, you know what? How can I do this? How can I do that? I don't think so he's going to be asking.
In fact, I think Tina told me how she wanted so strongly to do the medical profession she chose for herself, and then she.
Good morning, Lata. Hi.
Morning.
Good morning.
So basically, you will not have a child. For sure. I mean, not you, none of us will have a child.
Right.
We were childless and we will remain childless forever.
So basically, we just guide them and love
Yes,
them.
yes,
Right?
just like in your clinic, Tina, you're teaching your assistant how to do it, and she does it, and that's all what it is. Same thing with your children, or same thing with my son, or with your son and Lata's daughter. Doesn't matter. So we are on our own path.
Including your husband, you cannot dictate what he thinks or would do.
No, the husband is not a child, so I'm not only talking about a child.
Okay. I'm just saying because. Yeah.
On a child, we have an authority, right? So we say that, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. I will hit you if you do this, or I will do that, and I won't be happy, etc. But you can't do it with a husband or a wife. And she will say, okay, you don't like it, here's the divorce paper. Go to hell. So I cannot use that with my wife anyway. But I can do it with my son. He is young, so I can always arm twist him, and I cannot arm twist my wife. So, the wife or the husband were also small kids, right?
Are you muted? No. Say hi.
Hi.
What do you want? Ellen, what do you want?
Where's the remote for the TV?
I have no idea. Sorry. He wants a remote for the TV. I didn't put it away. Sorry.
And I mean, you don't have to be sorry. It is a normal problem.
Must have heard that Vila is telling Tina she doesn't have a son.
No, she just now saw the sun.
Yeah.
So you become what you think. So now she became the mother. As long as the mother exists, the child exists, and so the pain exists. As soon as the mother is gone, the child is also gone, and the pain is also gone. So the question comes: do you want to take the pain, or you want to leave the pain? What do you think?
That's deep.
In fact, we all love the pain, so we don't want to get rid of the pain. See, we crave for the pain, actually.
Uh-huh. I think so.
We want things to work. That's the pain. But that's what we want to do. So take the pain. So now the question is that a belief or a faith?
I thought we're not going to cover that today.
No, not from the question what I've asked in the group. So we had this meeting on Friday using one of the sutta. So in that, Buddha explains about the hell and the heavenly realms and how the suffering is going. This Aryu had mentioned some time ago that he went through it and he just what he did, he just browsed it and left all of that and then skipped, no, sorry, he just skipped all the sections and then came down and then be done with that. Between there is a sutta called Balapandita. Bala means a childlike, Pandita means learned. Okay, so who is a childlike and who is or childish and who is a learned or astute? Okay, and the funny part of that sutta is that it talks about heaven and hell. So I asked in the group who had attended on Friday, do you believe those things exist or do you have faith that it exists? And they all said, I believe it exists. So I asked another question. What if it was not said by Buddha? Would you still believe it or you would have faith in it? And came an answer, we wouldn't believe it. Right? So the deeper level understanding is that it doesn't exist that way. Right? There's no heaven and there's no hell. To be very honest, I don't think so there is a heaven or a hell. Is that a belief or a faith?
But Tina has seen it.
Oh, I don't know what she has seen it, but
I've seen hell.
she's seen hell and somebody's seen heaven. So now the question is, why can't it be an hallucination? Can be, right? Right, it can be a mental a state where sometimes if you get reduced dopamine effect while sleeping or while wakeful state, half asleep and half sleepy, then your neurons are now going to fire in the way it should be firing, and hence goes into a reduced dopamine state, which is going to reduce the glucose in your bloodstream, and then the mind starts hallucinating, the brain starts hallucinating. Right? Why can't that be?
To correct what you said, I don't think I skipped that. I'm actually pretty good at making myself blindly believe whatever Buddha says. Although it's
Your
just a
belief.
belief, but I'm good at it.
You're on a belief. You're not on a faith.
No, not a faith, but
Yeah, you believe. You believe that exists because Buddha said so.
exactly.
What if it was not the Buddha? Then what would happen?
Yeah, immediately no belief.
Right. Okay, now my question is, are you a parent? You believe or you have faith?
Faith.
No.
No.
No. I'll tell you why. Forget the
Okay.
parent, right? So now, do you have a wife? Are you? Yes. Do you love her much? Yes. Do you love her more than what you love for yourself? No. Right? And do you have a home? Yes. Do you have a big home? Yes. Okay. So do you feel happy with your home? Okay. Now on all of this, is that a faith what you're talking about, or you believe that it is how it is?
I think that I know the correct answer would be belief, but I mean, I feel that way. So,
All of that feeling is condition oriented, and hence it is belief. So if your wife were to curse you, then you still love her? So the belief is gone.
yes, I mean the house I know. Like if tomorrow someone came up say, "Hey, I got this document from the government says you don't own it," immediately that belief is shattered, right? I know I no longer own it.
Yes.
Or someone even, I believe I'm RU, but if someone came with a birth certificate say, "Hey, you wasn't born as RU, you actually born as Vilas," and I would start to believe that I'm actually not RU,
Right.
right? So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So whatever is named is belief. So I was asking this question to the group the other day. There is a city where these guys come from in India called Nagpur. So I was asking them, do you believe Nagpur exists or do you have faith that Nagpur exists? And just like California, does it really exist or it's just a named? It's just a name, state name, CA. Okay, if you were to search for the city
Thoughts.
you're staying, you cannot find it. So it's just a belief. There's no faith.
yeah, that absolutely. Because some expert came up tomorrow saying, "Hey, the city name was like,
Will
it's
change.
not a city."
You're going to
Then
change.
immediately there's no city. Yeah.
Right. In the same way, parent. In the same way, child. In the same way, husband. In the same way.
So the father one, I said faith because I like saw the birth of my son, right? So it's like a deeper.
No. You saw a child being born of your son or whose son we don't know.
Right. So for me, maybe, but for my wife, right? It's certainly like it's her.
You don't know who came inside, right?
That's right. But I mean, she has faith that she has a son. Right?
No, it's a belief because it came into her body. So she feels that is my son. It's a belief system. And because we
Sure.
believe something is true, if it is turned false, that same person puts a case against the son. Right? There are so many cases pending in so many Indian, US, or all the world's court where the parents have filed against their own children and the children have filed against their parents. Right? If it was faith, they wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, true. a reminder. I thought you said we are not going to cover this topic in depth. Otherwise, you
No,
don't
I'm
have
not going to
anything
cover
left.
in depth. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
So why I took up this topic is you basically become what you think. So if you believe firmly that this is what I am, you would exactly become that, even though it's not true.
You know? Hmm.
Somebody's playing music.
I'm sorry.
I think Lata. So she's not. Where you is a,
Wait, do you see?
No, I think someone in Tina's house is playing music.
Yeah.
Oh, my son practicing saxophone.
Okay.
He wants to go to advanced band,
Okay.
and he has to have an audition next week. So he's practiced every day. That's another pain there.
Yeah, that's another
Because he
pain to your
wants
ear.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all what I wanted to say. So any topic?
Maybe we can start with what Tina had practiced from the topic from last week about trying to not take the things from her clients.
Yes.
And it has
And that's the
worked.
interesting one. Yes. I try really, really hard, actually. I usually try to help a person and then take it in, think about it and all that. But this time, one of the patient came in and talked about it. And I became an observer instead. And I practice it when I'm watching movies, because a lot of time I got myself in the movie and I get really scared or I get emotional and all that. And this time I watch the movies and I kind of observe like it's a movie, but then I see that the movie is not as good anymore.
Yeah. I think there's a terminology for movie makers in that. So usually you should feel like so in the scene, but if you're able to kind of see that you're not in the scene, that there's a terminology. I don't know the English name for that. And that's a bad sign of a movie. It's not supposed to happen that way. I mean, the show is not good.
But then I try to practice that concept that Vilas taught.
Does it become relieving for you when you do
Actually, yes, I try, and I don't think about the movie as much, or I don't let the movie's content affect me as much. And as far as patience, I actually got better. Yeah, but I try I try not to take it in, but I see what Vilas was saying, that everybody wants to down the waste in me, that I can see it, unintentionally, yeah.
But still, it's
And
a shit.
I want, yeah. And
I was reading a Chinese kind of spiritual blog, and they gave an analogy of what enlightenment is. It says we're just watching movie for our whole life, and thinking we're in that movie, we got scared, we got happy, and then we're just in that movie for our whole life. And enlightenment is like suddenly you realize you're just in the movie theater, and then you stand up and walk away, and you can't do that. So that's the analogy they gave about what
Another easy analogy taking that movie is the difference between a person who is unenlightened or unawakened, asleep, a deep slumber, versus a person who is woken up, is when you watch a movie, you're watching with lights on completely. which will then make the screen disappear. So there is nothing being put on the screen, right? So you will start laughing at it, and that is awakening. A person who is completely involved in the movie requires darkness. Okay, and without darkness, there is no movie. If you have a movie, it should be dark, pitch dark, no lights. Only the light which is streamed there is what it is. So immediately, due to the sound and the sight, you get hooked onto that movie.
Because darkness is a prerequisite for ignorance to happen.
Yes. So avidya or avidya is ignorance. So the ignorance is that I take darkness to be light. And in darkness only all of these relationships can happen. Like a son and the mother and the daughter and the friend and all those relationships, husband and wife and all that, in darkness. But if light comes, you're just watching the movie, Tina, and suddenly, all of a sudden, the light comes and it covers up the entire movie hall, including the screen, to an extent that nothing is visible on that screen at all. And then you start to laugh aloud. Oh shucks, I was so deluded by this. And I'm literally sweating looking at those things, and now, ow, my goodness. It is such a funny thing. And that is what is awakening is all about.
It's a great analogy.
Can you go turn it off?
And if you see that stream of light which is there, that is the defiled consciousness, which is vijnana. Just the light without those movie strip is chitta. So if you are chitta, then there's no light. Sorry, if there is no movie or there's no that film. The projector is there, but there's no movie. Right? So what comes on the screen is white light. And that's all. Now you go wherever you want. You are done. No more movie can be played. If no more movie can be played, there cannot be any rebirth. Now what will anybody put a movie there? So you are just enjoying your life till that projector is going to be there. After the projector ends, the light also goes away.
Yeah, because if there's no projection on the screen, there's no way to attach to anything. And there's no perception of anything, and there's no way to attach to it.
Yes,
so
exactly. So in a very simple way, if we were to see between darkness and light, darkness, you require a movie requires darkness. Not that darkness requires a movie. A movie requires darkness. So every relationship we create requires darkness. Without darkness, there cannot be any relationship at all. Once the relationships are not there, you are light.
So Tina,
How do we see it?
How do we see it? Just stop watching the movie. Or rather enjoying the movie or being part of the movie.
like what you did with the other day with watching the movie, right? You become the awake.
Become the observer. You just become the observer. Don't become the part of the movie. Now, when there is darkness, Tina, let's say I want to watch a movie, give me a beautiful movie name. Action movie with lot of emotions and all that. Let's take the same movie which I had asked you to watch, In Pursuit of Happiness. You are not Will Smith, are you? He made millions of dollars through that movie. You didn't. Right? And the director made a lot of money out of this, but you didn't. You in the sense who watched it, right? The first time he went there to the theater and stood in mad rush and watched the movie. Okay, so that movie is put on what? On happiness. 20 minutes down the movie, you will start to imagine yourself being that person. So now you set a relationship. You become Will Smith. Even though you're not a male, you still feel I'm Will Smith. In fact, if you watch action movies, after at the interval, or when you finish the movie, you still feel like a hero coming out of that theater. If you really observed, in that 1.5 or 2 hours, you have transformed yourself into that person, right? And then you come out and you feel wow, like in a Jackie Chan movie or Bruce Lee or whatever, if you were to watch, and you see him hitting, jumping here, jumping there, and doing all that fun stunts, and nobody knows how many bones Jackie Chan has broken by now, but I am willing to break at least few just to prove the point, right? So, and that is what ignorance is all about. So movie requires darkness. This is the movie. This is what we are doing. Is a movie. We have a father, mother, brother, sister, and children, and this and that. Is a movie. In that movie, sometimes you cry, sometimes you laugh, and sometimes you smile. And you keep on going to the supermarket to buy this and that, and making 2 ends meet, and all of that in pursuit of happiness. And that's a movie. You're paying for your own movie. In that Will Smith case, somebody paid for him. So now, in the case of Will Smith, after the movie, he's not that name, whatever the name he had put, he knows it's a scripted. But he's playing his own movie, right? At his home with his wife. And that day, I think very recently, he slapped a person on a TV show or some show, and then he got into trouble and is moved out. He is removed from the guild of movie producers or whatever that is, right? And he is given an apology for doing that, and he feels really distressed. And that guy, for all that matters, is greatest, the most closest disciple of Sadhguru, if you know that. You didn't know that? Okay.
I can tell he's kind of spiritual, but I didn't know he's following Sadhguru.
He's following Sadhguru. And then there is this another guy, I don't remember his name, and now he is totally transformed. He follows Dalai Lama. He used to act in this funny kind of movies. I mean, he used to do a lot of fun things.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, yes, and he came in that this California University. He came into Stanford and gave a talk about what he thinks life is to be now, and etc.
Yeah.
All right. So now he has become a ardent devotee of Dalai Lama, and apart from Richard Gere, Jim Carrey also now has got a visa in India to come as many times as they wish. So now he spends most of the time in India and some time in US, trying to bring in a lot of people. and Sadhguru had stayed with Will Smith some recently, around a year ago or something like that. Okay, coming back to this point, right? So Will Smith lost his happiness by hitting someone or slapping someone because that a guy asked him about his wife and he got wild.
He got himself too deep into the movie of becoming a hero for his wife.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
becoming the actor and then started acting like he's the hero. And
Yeah, he took it too seriously. Right, and that's how ignorance works. So the stronger the relationship, the harder it gets. The lighter the relationship, the funnier it gets. And the third one, if you don't have any relationship, the peaceful it gets.
Let me go get my sweater. I'm a little cold.
Because of this,
Be
or
right back.
because you're genuinely feeling cold?
Yeah, you're so right that we become the character that we watch very quickly in the movie. Because anything bad happens to them, we feel agitated and
Absolutely.
angry.
So
anything happened well for him, we're like, great.
see, that's the reason all movie, irrespective of the language, irrespective of the country, has three things in common. One, there is a hero. Another one, there is a villain. And the third one, there is emotion. Right? And the girl initially falls for the villain and then converts herself to the hero.
Is there any movie where both sides are fairly equal? So sometimes you become this and sometimes you
Yes,
become
there
that,
are.
or it never.
Yes, there are. But ultimately, they would show that a hero lifestyle is better than the villain. Right? So if you watch any of the James Bond movies, let's say, you need to have three things there again. One is James Bond, who can get all kind of gadgets, right? So that's James Bond. And secondly, he should have sexy girls, not just girls. Should be really, really what I can say, desirable, right? So the second one. Third one is the emotions is dependent on how things work. So this is how James Bond movies are made. So it's action filled. So let's say if I am a follower of James Bond, what I would do in my life is that I want to become desirable, right? And I find Sean Connery having working at 60s, getting beautiful girls at 20s, right? So now I need something like that, right? So then I color my hair or put a wig. I don't have hair anyway, so I need to put a wig and color things up and do all that, and I need to have money. And the girls falls for money, right? So I need to have a lot of money. So I need to do something for money. So now I get into this delusion of the movie. So I inculcate that in my life for sure. So always three things, right? One hero, one villain, and emotion.
And if you're a fan of opposite sex character, then you envision becoming his partner.
Exactly.
Partner.
Absolutely. 100%. See, on one side, they say that women shouldn't be looked as objects. But if you see any movie, they make them as objects. Eventually, whether they like it, they dislike it, or whatever, they are something to be possessed or worth the possession. So how you have possession. See, if a girl comes to me and says that I love you, I don't really care. But if I struggle, I need to struggle to get, right? I get it. I feel so great that, I got that girl. So there was one old movie. Maybe you can watch it. It's called Grease 2. Greece 2. Grease 2. It's an old movie shot on how love affairs happens. Okay. And looking at that movie, a Kannada movie was made. And this guy made millions of Indian rupees because nobody had envisaged in that way. Okay, it's an old one, old English movie. It's not a new one. Okay, but in that you can see a typical hero and a typical girl. Okay, how this guy is very rough and tough, and he doesn't care, no care attitude, and this girl is so caring. She ultimately accepts him. Okay, and you can really see yourself transforming that way. So all the flaws I have in my heart just gets up, and then I feel, wow, I'll be getting someone who will accept to whatever I am. Right. So it was a great hit in the United States some years ago. At least it's around 20 plus years, 25 or 30, rather 30 years ago. It's a
So
very,
that's why whatever movie you watch changes you as a person.
absolutely. And the reason why you watch movie is because you see yourself in that. So the day we stop watching movies, that means that we are now staying life without being judged, right? All movies will judge you, for sure. All TV shows will ultimately make you judge yourself and others.
So we stop watching a movie.
Yes, I don't watch any movies, even though I will have some information on the movie. You might ask me, how do I know? I'm just go to IMDb and read about some movies just for examples and be done with it.
I think I also haven't watched movies in a long time, but I watch a lot of movie summaries when they talk about the life of people. So I learn from how people suffer and be happy from their lives. But that I like, but it's a commentary. It's not a real movie. Yeah, I haven't watched any real movie.
I generally watch documentaries more than the movies, because in documentary what happens is that you get the information but you're not pulled into it, right? Even it happens, I'm not saying you won't be pulled into it, you would be, but not as drastically as a movie. So in that 1.5 to 2 hours, you become what you think. So whatever the director thinks you should be, you will become that in that movie.
And you go through the emotions as the director prescribed in the scenes.
Absolutely. And if it works that way, and the thousands and peoples are thronging to the theater, he is going to make fortune. So he goes into Rolls Royce or a Mercedes car, while I drive the old car which I was having by paying $20 and standing in the line and then watching the movie and coming back. Wow. Where that guy, it is business as usual. Now he thinks, what other movie I can fool people with? Let's see.
So the more the director makes you suffer with the character, while you give you a big release in the end with the music and everything,
Exactly.
the better you think the movie is. You say, such moving movie.
Yes.
And I'm so happy for it.
So what you could see at the end of the movie, because hero wins and you are that hero, right? You really struggled hard, right? And every person in that theater becomes a hero or would like to be the hero. Now there's a relief of being a hero. Why? Because the pain is gone. So first there was a pain, and that's extruding pain, emotional pain. And slowly in the second half, the release is happening and happening and happening. and this guy villain is shot dead, and or he's put in the jail, and he's made to suffer for his sins, and blah blah blah. And the heroine comes and hugs him, and the children come and they hug the father, say, wow, we missed you so much, oh my goodness. And the tear drops in all the people, oh my, oh so sorry, oh bad. And after that people are sobbing and coming. So that's all what is required. Got it. So now when they come home, such a relief, right? So now they look at each other and say that, wow, we shouldn't be doing like what he did in that movie, right? And then you start following it. That's all what it is. So the pleasure is nothing but release from the pain. That's it. That's all what you found. So first of all, we paid money to get the pain, right? Nobody asked it. And then I went with my dollars and I paid for the pain to get relief from the pain. Isn't it funny?
And then we appreciate a movie better if it's catching, means it makes us suffer and stressful with the character, right?
Yes.
If we didn't suffer, there's no release. And no, it's not a bad movie.
Yes, then I come back, or rather from the theater, I'll take my selfie with my family watching this movie, right? And then I come back and write review about that movie. I watched it. The first half was this, second half the settings is good, and this, it brings tears to your eyes. You should be watching. That means I'm not only saying I'm a fool, I'm making another 100 people fool about it, right? Because I want them to cry too. And if somebody like me were to comment, okay, you're the fool who watched the movie, I'm not the fool, I'm not watching, just look at the director. He is watching all these fools and he's making money. That's all what it is. And the life itself is like that. Whether you go to office, you go to dentist, you go to your clinic, or we all go to our offices. It's a movie being played. It's up to you whether you want to be jumping as that character and taking it so seriously and doing it, or just doing it for fun. If you do it for fun,
that's why the movie jobs are considered improper livelihood.
Yes, absolutely.
Or acting.
Absolutely. So when I started my own company, one of them referred to one of the famous Kannada director and actor. So he wanted to shoot somewhere in the Himalayas. Okay, he wanted to do a movie shoot, and then he wanted to do many things. I said, look, the elevation is high, so you can't do any one of this, and he got offended. Okay, and then I used to go to his home every other day and trying to explain to him about how this can be done, how we can manage and all that. And then we dropped it. I felt so happy later that this thing got dropped, because the pain I would have carried, because there's so many terms and conditions, right? And this should happen, and that should happen, and that should happen, and that should happen. And then I'll be getting my payment. Otherwise, there's no payment. So that means it's just a relief from that suffering. Okay, tremendous suffering. And this happened. And after that, in the year 2017, we had the Princess of Dubai coming into Ladakh, where we were doing this. So she wanted to, she brought in a whole team of people who are experts in camel, and she's doing a research on camel. So our pain started from the time she landed in the airport, and we had to go in search of camels. So we had to organize the camels, and then the different camels, and then the animal husbandry department, they had to bring in the camels, and wherever she goes, these camels goes, right? So we had to do all of those funny things. And there were a lot of these cameramen and all that whom she had brought. And so many rules and regulations for us, because we've been scrutinized by the Indian police and Dubai police also. So we had to do all kind of things. It's such a pain. And while she left India, she gave me $500 as a gift. So my partner was showing me, hey, you know what? You got $500. You earned $500. So here is your $500. So I took the $500. Okay. And that means for the suffering, that 14 days suffering, 2 weeks she was here. Every day is a torture, literal torture, because you have to literally make whatever she wants. So while we were coming back, she saw some dogs and she said, I need these dogs. They are stray dogs. So one of the driver picked it up and he got $3,000 for picking up that dog and giving it to her. Okay. And she had booked a nice suite and a lot of things, and along with her other dogs. Okay. And the security people and all that. If you really see, all that we are doing is just a pain, taking the pain for the pleasure. So there is no pleasure as such. It's only the pain manifesting as pleasure. If there is no pain, then there's pleasure. If there is pain, there's no pleasure. So it takes so much of pain in everything, including relationship, to get the pleasure of that. So if you were to drop the pain, pleasure also will not be there. So you are equanimous to both pain and pleasure. The mistaken identity is that I keep one and I will lose the other. No, when you leave the pain, the pleasure also goes along with that, because there was no pleasure in the first place. Now it is peaceful because there's neither a pain nor a pleasure.
And that is happiness.
That is the real happiness, because it's not conditioned now. The condition here is pleasure. I want to seek pleasure by taking the pain. Now you drop the pain. There is nothing to be sought out as a pleasure through the eyes or ears or nose or tongue or whatever it is. All the six senses now are unconditioned. They don't go behind the pleasure. And hence real peace. So now I'm harmonious with the five senses. Yeah, Tina, you look very tired today. Maybe.
Oh my God, I worked the whole day,
Okay.
and then I went. I entertained my kid. So I took them to the pool. Then I went home, and I cooked since. I went home at 7:45. I cooked.
Tina, you're freezing.
Yeah, she is frozen. So this is the phase which happens without life, right? Without consciousness. Tina. Everything.
If we can always see it in that way, then there's no
exists.
animation.
The animation is there because of consciousness. If there's no consciousness, it's frozen. Yeah, Tina, go ahead.
I don't get it.
No, you didn't get anything. So don't worry. I will tell you later what you didn't get it. But now you were actually cooking and then you went away.
No, so I fed the whole family. So I'm done. So my husband took over because I ran away. I said I have a session.
Okay. So now he has taken over.
Yeah. He has to finish it. Yeah,
taking care of kids are all about suffering.
So you just transfer the suffering to him, saying that, okay, here it is.
Yeah, because I was all of a sudden I was so tired. So I told him I'm really tired. I have to sit down for a little bit, and then I'm going into the session right now.
Okay, so while you were gone, while you were explaining, you went into the frozen state, meaning internet connection maybe dropped at your side or whichever side, so your face was frozen. So I was telling you that if a person doesn't have consciousness, you can see it's just frozen that moment, like that, like what he had opened his mouth about it.
I don't know if I can
Okay,
showcase that.
now you tell me one funny thing. If that really happens, should you cry, or should the person along with you should cry? No, right?
No?
They can straight away take the body and throw it in the wherever it should belong to. Is that right?
No. Area is frozen.
Now area is frozen.
I'm acting as frozen.
He's acting like frozen. Okay, that's okay. Now we can throw the Aryu body into the crematorium, and that's it. Over.
Mm.
And that's all what it is. It's, the animation is happening due to the consciousness, the light inside. 1 second. Hello.
I went to the pool with the kids.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a nice pool, so you have to take a look over now that it's getting warm.
Yeah,
Getting warm.
that'll be nice.
Yeah. So, so is that Saturday or Sunday? Maybe Saturday or Sunday, right?
Yeah, sometime.
Yeah, sometime. After spring break.
Yes, for sure. Whenever it's warm and you're free and
Yeah.
yeah.
Because today it's warm, but then toward we stay a little late because we didn't go there until almost 6 o'clock.
Okay.
So it's get cold, so we have to do it like 4 o'clock. Yeah.
It's not a
3
heated
o'clock.
pool. Is it a heated pool?
Yes. Yeah. And I'll be my friend giving me a jacuzzi. Yeah, so I have to find out how to put it together, and once it's all done, then Luke can come.
Oh, that's nice. Really? You just happen to get a jacuzzi?
Yeah.
That's really coincidental because Luke was just asking about it the other day.
Yeah.
Suddenly you got a jacuzzi. Okay. Maybe we can bring back a little bit. I want to ask Tina, when you start to see your patient's story, like more of an observer, are you feeling better at the end of the day from not taking it in so much?
Yes. Actually, yes. It's very interesting that I become more mindful. I become less irritated. And and the moment that I take in anything, I become irritated. So I go home and I get mad at my kids. And then I caught myself. It's so interesting.
Yeah, I think Vilas's analogy is great. Maybe next time, whenever I get agitated, I just think to myself, the theater has the lights up. Now I need to turn on the light. And I start seeing it differently.
Yes.
That one, I understand what Vila say, but I cannot picture how I'm going to observe my life.
No, Tina, very simple. It's like this. If we see that there is something, right now we four are there, or five, including me, is 5. So if the 5 of us, if we refer ourselves as the names what we have, right, then we are in ignorance. That means we are in the theater, right? So as soon as the movie starts, somebody should become good, somebody should become bad, and somebody should be neutral, somebody should be ugly, somebody should be this and that or whatever, right? Now what is the first thing I can do is to start asking, where from are you? So then you introduce that, oh, I'm basically from Vietnam, settled down in US, and blah blah blah. And Aryu might say, I'm from China, but I came here and I'm working, blah blah blah. And I'm going to say thing about myself, and Lata is going to explain about herself. So we're going to do this, right? It's a movie, so we are basically scripting what seems to be the reality. Is it fair? Now we can do that just to introduce ourselves, but it's not true. It's just a belief. It's not faith, right? So let's say you go back to Vietnam, then your stay in US was there, now it's not there. And Aryu goes, he wants to stay in Thailand, so he's been having that intention of leaving US and going to Thailand and doing whatever he wants to do. Okay, so if he goes to Thailand and then he was or he is an American citizen settled down in Thailand, what happens to his wife and child, I don't know, but that's what he wants, right? So then the same thing with Lata and same thing with me. So what we are trying to do is to sketch out our movie, each individual. So as long as that is there, the light need not have to be there. So it's darkness, then the movie can be played much better. So there would be people who join me or join you, and they call, oh, I'm your husband. Oh, you say, oh yeah, you're my husband. And I'm your wife. Oh yeah, you're my wife, like that. And you're my child. Oh, you're the only child, or you're 2 children, and etc. Right? Now till here, any kind of issue you have, Tina? No, right? Now what if, okay, what if you come to know it's all fake, it's not real? What happens to you? That is what is realization.
Like as if you realize it's just a dream?
No, you really know that you named the child, it was not there. Correct? It's true also. When the child was born, you never named, it never came with its name saying that, hey dad, I'm so excited to meet you. Wow, I've been thinking about you while in my mother's stomach, I was always thinking about you, that how you would be and what you would be. My goodness, my enjoyment was to see you even before my mother, right? Whether she's going to have a cesarean operation, she's going to go for normal delivery, I don't care. All that I care is my father. I want to go and touch my father. Okay, it's about father. Now let's look at the mother. The mother is taking so much pain, right? Her stomach is increased beyond what she could really take it. Her back is paining, and so many fluids are coming out from every different region she could think of, and she has no idea what's happening. She's crying in pain, and then she's suffering basically. And I have never seen any woman who is smiling while getting delivery. Okay, and I don't think so. I have not watched even a single video of the baby coming out where she's not crying. Okay, and she hugs her baby with all the blood and all that. I don't know what, that horrible smell as well. Okay, and she takes to her breast and she feeds that baby and etc. But that baby doesn't say, hey mom, You're the mom I was looking at. Oh my goodness. How much you have cared for me while I was in your stomach. And thank you so much for keeping me alive. And the food what you were eating, right? One day you were eating rice porridge, and the second day you were eating pizza. You know what? The love for pizza came from you, mom, because I love pizza now. Because you are eating pizza. And that other day while you were driving harshly. I was telling you from my stomach, hey mom, hold on, I'm sitting inside your stomach. And you didn't care. You care a damn about anyone. But still I love you. I don't think so any child has done that till date, irrespective of whichever country it is in. Right? And you named it. And in that case, how did it become your child?
Because it's from my tummy.
Whose tummy? So now the question is, did you do something to get into that tummy? Let me know what you did to get that child in your tummy. Actually, you didn't do anything. You didn't even know. Because your menstrual cycle got stopped, you just wanted to check, am I pregnant? And then it showed that you're pregnant. And that's it. You didn't know. It was life as usual going on. It has taken 45 days and 50 days, and then you went to the doctor and he or she said that, hey, we need to do a pregnancy test. Why you're not having the cycles? So he or she asked you that, how are your cycles? And you said regular or irregular, whatever it is. And then they said, we'll do one pregnancy test to see whether you're pregnant. And then, wow, I'm pregnant. Did you do anything to become pregnant? You didn't. Only the doctor said, hey, now that you're pregnant, take care of that baby who is sitting inside, and you should not eat this, you should do like this, you should not struggle, you should not blah, blah, blah. And your body is going to bloat now. Did you do anything for the body to bloat?
But scientifically, it explained that it's my egg. That egg is from my body.
Yes, absolutely. I don't deny that. Yes, there is egg and there is sperm. Egg by itself cannot do anything, right? So you require sperm.
Right.
Right. And now the egg and sperm comes together, but still you might not get pregnant. Yes. Right. And if the sperm count is less and the egg is more, still there is no chance. If the sperm count is absolutely right and they're healthy sperms, and that healthy sperms can only go and penetrate into the egg, right? And then you require X and Y chromosomes. So normally you have XX, and the male partner also can have XS. So in that case, there's no X and Y, so there won't be any male child. You didn't do any male child as far as I know. You don't have anything to say, I will make a male child or I'll make a female child. You don't have anything to do with that. It's only the male who has X or Y. You don't have. So what is that you're doing then? Nothing. Isn't that the case?
So the condition has to be right.
Yes, then only the child can happen.
Yeah.
So you are not done anything about the child, right? So in that case, it's not your child, right? It is conditioned.
but it grew in my tummy.
No, you've taken food and that's the reason it's growing. You didn't do anything to make it grow.
You cannot not make it grow either.
Yes, you cannot. You cannot order your stomach saying that, hey, baby, sitting there, you know what, I'm ordering you. You're not going to grow an inch. Do you understand? No, it will grow. And neither you can say, hey, my dear baby, please grow faster. I cannot wait 10 months or 9.5 months for the delivery. I need you right here, right now. Do whatever. It's not going to come out. So it's all condition based. And you are liable to have miscarriage at any time in the cycle. Nothing that you can do about it. If it has not had any miscarriage, it's a condition is not met. If it is miscarriage, the condition is met. And then the sobbing will start. Oh my goodness, I lost my child. Oh man, how can I live without the child? But that's a condition. So it's not your child. So what is not yours, how can it give you happiness?
That'll be more obvious when they turn teenager and
Yes.
then, not listening at all.
Yes, then you'll see the real person coming up, and then he says, hey mom, I am now 16. I need a car. And you drive, right? And that guy drives. He's drunk. You can't do anything. And in America, 90% of them get drunk at 16. Okay. And I had a colleague. She had the first child at 15. And her child was 15. She herself was a child, got a child at 15. And she was dating one of my other colleague. She had divorced the first one, and then he was dating my colleague, and I used to be their center. So these two guys are sitting, and then I am the center guy, right? I'm trying to bring them together, kind of thing. So then I met her stepson and her daughter. So it's a funny engagement, right? And she
I'm confused. Sorry, I'm confused.
not only you are confused. I'm thoroughly confused. So I used to hear while in America, I used to hear that your child and my child are hitting our child. You know who is your child? The first whomever you had as X. Her child is whomever she had X. So now we both are married, right? Along with that, the children also come from us, right? So the stepson.
Your child, my child, hit our child.
Yes. And now from my union with her, I have another child, right? So your child and your children and my children, if there are two or more than one, or your child and my child are hitting our child.
Yeah. I'll ask you afterwards. It's okay. I think you all get it. That's fine.
No, it is not so complicated. See, X and X, ex-husband, ex-wife. You already have children.
Sure.
You already have children, right? Or have a child.
Sure.
Right? So that becomes stepson or stepdaughter.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? And now what I do is I marry this girl or this lady who is bringing her child, right, to my home. I have brought my child from my ex-wife. So I have an ex for her. This guy or girl becomes a stepdaughter or a stepson. And on the other side, that daughter or the son becomes my stepson or a stepdaughter, right?
Yeah.
And we both, that is this wife whom I have now married with, is going to have another child. That becomes our child,
I
right?
get it. I get it. Yeah.
So now my son, that my ex-wife's son, and her son, which is her ex-son, they both hit our son, right? So one guy hit him on his chin and his teeth broke down, and the child comes crying, saying, "Hey mom, my teeth is guiding." So then what I and my wife is going to do is, your son and my son, they both have hit our son. So your child and my child are hitting our child.
Yeah.
It's so complicated in America.
True, true, true.
So wherever I used to go across America, I used to find either my colleagues divorced and marrying another one. And after a few months, I go, say, I just left her and now I married another one. Oh my goodness, so great. So then I meet the first ex-wife and the second ex-wife and the third ex-wife, or first ex-husband and the second ex-husband, and the first child and the second child, meaning say that she's already married, but she still wants to be with him or her or whatever it is, in whichever combination. Now it's two children, one from that ex and second from this ex, right? So it's very funny. So if that were to be true, then none of us would have been able to divorce anyone, including the child, right? If the mother would have felt it is her child, and how could she divorce? She cannot. Or how could the husband leave the family if all that he wanted was the family? It's not. So as long as the condition matches, things are proper. If the condition is not matching, that's it. So that's the movie we are talking about. So you never had a child or a husband in the first place. I never had a wife or son in the first place to begin with. I never had. Neither I'm going to have.
Yeah, I heard your story in the Vedanta group where you talked about how the mom and dad kick out their kids when he started disobeying, and then when he started taking care, they took him back as the son.
Yes, exactly, right? Isn't that selfishness? To be honest, the same child with whom you had thought, oh, it's my child, you're ready to denounce that child, saying that, hey, you're a horrible person. And that happened in my family, I'm telling you. It's happened in my family. Their parents first threw the girl out, saying that you have married someone, I don't like you, blah, blah. And they went to court saying that I don't own this child any longer. And they found out that when this guy, the father, was sick, this daughter took care of him, and then tears rolled from his eyes, saying that, wow, I never knew this. I'm so sorry, I disowned you. Now I own you back. Isn't that stupidity? That's how life is. So neither there's a father, there's a daughter, there's a son, and there's a mother. It's just agreements. If things works, doesn't work, throw them out. And that's what happens in America. The father and mother stay somewhere, the children stay somewhere else, right? At 16, they're gone. And they fund for themselves, they stay for themselves, they have their own girlfriends, and they go on drugs or whatever they do, alcohol or sex or whatever it is. Maximum amount. I'm not saying everybody does that, but maximum. And that's all what it is. So
yeah, lately
so all that you have child is for 16 years, and after that you really literally regret. After the graduation of the school, you have no idea what they're going to become. Very few in America goes to the higher education.
Yeah, I think for our city and state, it's pretty frequent.
Yeah, it's frequent in California. I'm not on California. If you go to any other states in America,
The Bay Area.
you go to Georgia, Atlanta, you will not find many grads at all. You go to Ohio, you will not find much.
Cool.
Sometime I used to have this list of all the 50 states and how many graduates and how many school dropouts and for hiring, right? And then I find the immigrants are more than the non-immigrants, right? So that is Chinese and Indians and all kind of nationalities than the true Americans. You will not find many on the schools or doing their higher education.
Because we wouldn't have migrated unless we have a degree ourselves.
Exactly, right. In the case of an American, he can be just cozying around and enjoying his life.
Guess it saddens Tina or Tina
I don't know.
go
I mean,
thinking.
at present, Tina is in mixed baggage about movie. I don't see it's the movie. I'm not still able to place it, but that's really a movie, Tina. If you really go deeper, you'll find you're doing a role, right? You're literally doing a role, just like you did something from morning till evening, and then you asked your husband, "Hey, take care of it. I'm tired." And that's a role, right? Now he's supposed to do the role. What if he comes back and says that, "Look, I cannot handle it"? Then what happens? Wouldn't you be upset? And that is in the script, right? It's a scripted one. You're going to get angry. That is in the script. So you're going to show you're upset, really upset. Hey, how can you do this? But internally you should be laughing. Oh, I've done it so well. Oh, so nice. Because then you know it's a movie. Otherwise you feel that you're so emotional about it. And after that your husband is going to say that, look, listen, session or no session, I don't care. I cannot be doing this forever. And you say, you know what, how many patients I meet from morning till evening, have you ever realized the pain I am taking? He says, I don't care, I have my problem, you have your problem. And you say, this is horrible. And that's again a scripted one.
You're not playing the script.
You're not playing the script, so you just play the script. And because you were never Tina in the first place. Simple. Because somebody named you, right? And I guess your Vietnamese name is not Tina either. Your pardon?
That's nickname. I was born with that nickname.
Nickname, okay.
Thuy Khan is my Vietnamese name.
Yeah, so now if somebody calls by that name, would you still recognize it as you? Yes. If they speak to you in Vietnamese and they call you by that name, wouldn't you still do it? Yes, you would, right? So you become what you think. Now you become a Vietnamese, which is untrue. As untrue as your nickname Tina. And consciousness can do that within second like this. It can converse in two in a moment. And you won't even know. Meaning, you are the consciousness. So nobody will ever come to know that you're not Tina or you're not that. Same way, mother and daughter and son and husband and blah, blah, blah. You can switch the roles also. So the consciousness is the magician who is playing the movie. It's not you who is playing the movie. It's the consciousness who is playing the movie. It's playing itself out. There's nobody there. There's no person out there. The movie, what is coming out is the karma or the deeds. And you're supposed to be watching the movie rather than being the player of the movie. Okay, it's just being played on the screen, which is blank. That's the mind. So just plays. You as consciousness, now just watch as a witness to what is seen. And then the movie drops. Because once you become aware that it is a movie, you will lose all connections. And now you're very happy. So the movie also goes away because now the lights are up everywhere. And so the movie ends.
I'm gonna have to try tomorrow and see how. If I
Not
can do-
tomorrow. Do it right now. When your husband comes, you see him like a movie. Just like you would watch a movie, right? And the person comes, opens the door and goes away. He sits, he stands, he goes away. And your son comes.
You know,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I had that experience before for like a few seconds. I looked at my dad and I felt like he's so strange to me. He's like a completely stranger. And I did, I saw that with my husband, like a complete stranger. Yeah. Have you ever experienced that? Like your loved ones, all of a sudden you stare at that person and say, oh my God, it's like
At
this
that-
complete stranger.
Yes, at that time you'll find complete peace because they're only strangers. If you observed it. Because you don't have anything to lose if they're strangers. Because you don't have anything to gain either. If
It's
they're...
similar in the.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I guess was thinking it's similar if you're watching a show and you're so nervous about what's happening there, and someone suddenly come over and say, "Hey," and you realize you're not in that. There's a relief.
Oh,
Yes, absolutely.
mm. But then, true. Then you can continue to do what you're doing, but you don't play a part of the movie.
Yes. You
But I
just...
continue to care for my kids, guide them, right?
Yes, you're just doing as you would have done for any other kid.
You become a Will Smith in that movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. You will become the Will Smith in that movie and you are so happy. So in your pursuit of happiness, you have found happiness. And
Wow.
here you won't get money, but you feel so satisfied that you're not going behind anything at all. So the mind is stilled, equals nibbana. That's all.
But then, does it mean that fine? But I'm still doing. I'm still caring for the kids and the husband.
You do that role, but you are not that. Irrespective, Tina, what do you think? You're going to take that role because you already signed up for that role, right? See, you signed up being a dentist, so you're going to be a dentist, right? So while being a dentist, can you be a wife? No, you wouldn't be,
Oh, okay. I got it.
right? So if somebody comes and says that, hey, Tina, you're my wife, what would you do?
I said, don't talk like that in front of my husband.
No, he comes with gum swollen and his teeth is not in a proper order. You do all that thing and then he says, wow, Tina, you're my wife, I'm telling you. What would you say? You're going to say, I'm going to remove your teeth, man. Okay, if you talk to me like that. So while being a dentist, you cannot be a wife at the same time. But while your husband comes, you lose your dentist because you're not a dentist any longer. You become the wife. Right? And while your son comes, neither you're a wife nor your dentist, you're a mother now.
It's like someone giving you a new script. Like, do this script now.
You do it, and you immediately do it. I'm. But actually, it's crazy, right? As soon as a form comes, you react to the form. It's just a form. There was no person there. It's just a form. A form came. How can that be a person? It's crazy. You're playing a dentistry role whose teeth was not okay. And your husband also has a teeth. But how come you become a wife? Why can't you be a dentist forever? No, I am his wife. And your son also has a teeth. No, he's my son. Come on, give me a break. He also has teeth. This guy has teeth. That guy also has teeth. Isn't the teeth same then? Is anywhere written here on the teeth, you're not my husband, or you're my son, or you're my ex-husband or ex-wife, and all that on the teeth? Teeth is a teeth. And face is a face, like nose. See, Tina, your nose and my nose, what difference does it have? Aryu's nose and Lata's nose, what difference does it get?
It's a shape.
No, the holes are the same. What is there in the shape? Your face might look little bit Mongolian like Aryu, and that's the only difference I could find. Because again, it's a name, Mongolian, right? But if I were to really watch, your teeth and my teeth are the same. Your gums and my gums are the same. Your nose and my nose is the same. Your eyes and my eyes are the same. Your chin and my chin also is same. So what difference does it bring? Now, how come you became Tina? If everything is the same, how come you're Tina?
Because I was called Tina.
That's the problem. And you believe that what was called is true. And called whom? The body, right? But that body you don't have any longer. Do you have? Or do you think you have? When was the first time you were called Tina?
I don't know.
And then how do you believe that you're Tina then? See, it's a fun, right? You see, if you know who you are, makes sense. If you don't even know who you are, does it really make sense to believe that what you are? Now, if the Tina is not there, who is the husband then? He has married Tina, right? But who is Tina? So there was no Tina. So now, can I ask you this question? Are you married?
I'm trying to answer. No.
So if you're not married, do you then you have a child?
No.
Now you're released. So neither you have a husband nor you have a child. That proves the point.
Wow. That's a tough one to practice.
You don't have to practice. You have to let go of it. That's all. You're holding it, holding your fist. Just release the fist. So you're done. That's all. See, if I come to you, whenever I'm going to come to you, I'm going to show my gums. Okay? Is anywhere written that I'm your teacher? On my face or my teeth or wherever? Do you think that it is written, oh, Vilas is your teacher? Is it there? On my teeth? It's not there. When I come to America, you remove my teeth by mistake. Now what are the chances of putting it back? You
You have to put implant back.
You have to cut implant. That's the only alternative. There's nothing else can be done. Right? Nothing else can be done. So basically, your teeth also can fall, my teeth also can fall. I might have to go for an implant, you might also have to go for an implant. It doesn't matter whether my name is Vilas or not Vilas, it doesn't matter. The teeth are going to fall one day, for sure. I might put an artificial teeth. I might go for an operation which will give me a teeth, but I know for sure it is artificial. It's a condition. What if that also falls? Can fall. So then my face becomes like this. Right? And this face is gone. So somebody asks me, hey Vilas, what happened to your face? I say, and my voice also will change along with that, but there's no teeth. So I will say, when I went to America, I had a problem. I say that I removed it and I run away. And if a question is asked, look at this photograph and this photograph, and if this is this you? Actually, I'm not, because there are no similarities actually, but there is similarity in terms of the hole in the mouth and teeth and nose and all that. It's same. So in that way, we all five of us are the same.
Who said five? Who are five? Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Who is 5? Nobody
You counted yourself twice.
Pardon?
You counted yourself twice.
Now I'm seeing myself here, so I'm saying 5.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you counted yourself twice.
Yes, just to see how aware are you. Who is that 5? Wait, we have only 4. But I'm seeing myself. I'm seeing myself as the another person there, not as me. So there's 5 people.
I was wondering. So that's why you're saying 5.
Yes, that guy, I don't know who that guy is sitting there and talking. If I consider this person sitting there as me, I have problem with that person. So I disown that person. I don't know who this person is. And this person goes to office. He comes back. Family. He has all kind of things. But I don't have anything. So Monday or Tuesday morning, I'm going to, that person is going to meet Lata. So we're going to have discussions and all that. That person is going to have, not me. I've got nothing to do with that person. So if this person dies, nothing for me. Right?
Wow, okay. So I have a kind of weird belief that I have to worry about my children in order for me to help them. So if I stop being a mother, if I look at it as, okay, I'm not the mother, will I be able to continue to care for them in a way that...
No, you will actually care more than what you are doing today.
I'm sorry?
If you were to do that, you will start to care more than what you're doing today, because there is no expectation at all. So you would love everyone equally. See, if I were to make a distinction between the person sitting there and talking, and Aryu and Lata and you, then I'm going to have a distorted view. The distortion here is that you're a dentist, Lata is managing a company, and Aryu is working for Google, and he has a child and he has a wife and all that, right? That's all the story is going to be. What if I don't have that view? Then what happens? I would see everyone in a most equanimous way, which is conditionless, including the person sitting there. So the 5 people. That person keeps on changing, but I don't have anything to do with that. So I feel compassionate with all the other 4. So if I don't put on the roles, it's more peaceful. If I put on the roles, it becomes painful, because I have to play the role, and role will have a lot of problems. Expectations are there on the role.
True. They have to be certain.
Yes.
To be a good mother, I have to do this because I'm the mother. But if I see that individual and I love him, and I just have to do what it takes to help this person, right?
Yes, because I'm seeing the struggle he's going through. I'm seeing the pain he's going through. I'm seeing that how this leads him to more and more suffering. So what I'm going to do is to ease out his suffering.
Okay.
But if at the same time I can see that even if I try, there's only so much I can do, and he's still for suffering, and I wouldn't be suffering myself at that point.
Exactly. I'm not suffering due to anyone. If somebody benefits, good. Somebody doesn't benefit, fair. It's their life. They can do whatever. So there's no real pain for me. The pain comes when I want to be perfected in the role I'm playing, and it's not possible. Because the role is condition based. It is not unconditioned. So it's not going to work out.
True.
And in the...
So when I...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So I need to leave Vilas.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Somebody has come home. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Good having you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, Tina, go ahead.
So I'm a dentist. So I go to my office. I'm not a dentist. I just know what I can do with teeth. I'm not the owner. I just have you come in as a patient. So that person just need my help. Then I just help him.
Correct.
That's it.
That's it. But for the outside world, you're still a dentist. You're owning that clinic and all that. That's true. But internally, you're neither a dentist, nor a wife, nor a mother, nor anything. You're just you as consciousness, nothing else.
Wow. Need to contemplate on this one.
Yes, so it's already 12 o'clock for you. If you want to end, you can end.
Yeah. I just have a small quick question. You said if one is completely released, like arhat, without any labeling of anything, are we still able to do this?
Yes, he can.
So,
He can. The first thing he has to let go is what he's seeing on that screen. This face is coming on the screen, right? And he takes that face to be himself. That asmi mana has to go. This is me.
but you said the family life will be challenging, right? Like
Because
past
now
anagami state.
it becomes too difficult to lead the family life. Actually. Because that person is like a dead person. He has no life. He's filled with compassion, that is separate. But the family will not be able to manage this person because he's so disinterested in everything. So they themselves either will go away or they sync up with him. Or with her. Whatever it is.
But not even an issue at the vilas level.
No. Because I don't have that problem, that challenge.
Yeah, because your family is Dharma followers. That's one condition, but
That's
even
a
not
beautiful
at your
condition.
stage.
It's still a condition, but a beautiful condition to be in.
Yeah. But not something to worry about anytime soon, Tina.
That's okay.
No, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. I think I'm gonna try and see. If I already see it, if you put it that way, there's nothing for me to worry about.
Yes, absolutely. The worry and the fear and all that is gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The fear is in losing the relationship, which you never had in the first place. Right? We are doing everything to retain the relationship, which never existed. Never ever it existed. So what if I were to let go of the relationship voluntarily? Now the question comes, will I suffer? No. The relationship with this person sitting there and talking is the problem. Right? Because I represent that person on that camera, which is 4 elements only. Since I'm attached to the 4 element, I think I am that 4 element. So if I lose the attachment to that 4 element, then there is no coming back or going anywhere.
I see. Yeah.
See, this person is named Vilas, not me. This person with this body structure is named Vilas, but that body was some other body. It kept on changing and changing and changing and changing, and it has reached here. And very soon, this body will not be there. No matter how much anybody tries. Very soon means how? Every 4 hours. You keep on, you means this body has to be retained by giving food. And that's the only way it can sustain. There's no other way to sustain. 4 hours once there is hunger, which says that the earth element or the earth quality and the water or the liquid quality and heat quality and the movement quality have disappeared. It has reduced, so the body is not able to manage. So then you have to refuel it with the same 4 qualities. Clear? Now that's all that's all this body is all about. So I keep on refueling it. This whole
The
thing.
fourth is
Pardon? The 4 elements.
the four that is food, clothes, and medicine.
No. The elements I spoke about. For that you require 4 things. One is the food, clothing, shelter, and medicine.
Right.
And that's all what it is. So this body cannot be sustained without food, cannot be sustained without shelter. Right? You require shelter. That shelter has to be given to this body, not to you, but to this body you have to give shelter. And you have to make it air conditioned if it is cold or hot or whatever it is. Right? You need to do that. There's nothing else you can do for this body. Then if this body is naked, and so many creatures will attack on this because it finds food, so you have to clothe it so that it doesn't get fed by so many other creatures, because for those creatures this is a food. And because it is a food for other creatures, there is a possibility of getting contaminated and hence require medicine. See, the smell in the mouth is caused by bacteria which never ask my permission.
True.
Right? The gums going away is not because I wanted the gums to go away. It is eaten up by the bacteria. So it keeps on feeding and it creates spores inside, and then it starts to go deeper and deeper. And then the bone density reduces and the mouth will have pus formation. So the gums starts to bleed. So then when I go to dentist, he or she is going to clean that whole thing up and then says that, you look, your bones have disappeared and your gum has gone up. So we don't know what to do with it. So you can go for a surgery. So we're going to cut from the top or wherever and we are going to attach it. So who ate away? Yeah, who ate away my gums? Bacteria. It's a food for them. What did I do? Nothing.
You did brush enough to see.
No, that's fine. Even if I were to brush enough, it doesn't stop the bacteria, right?
The dentist can.
Yeah. See, it's all law of chances, right? So I brush my teeth twice in a day, once in the morning, once in the night before sleeping. Floss. Use the floss, water floss or whatever, floss the mouth. That's all what anybody can do. But the bacteria is still there. You require the bacteria. They're called as good bacteria because they are the ones which will digest the food. So you cannot remove the bacteria. They never ask my permission. None of these bacteria ever ask my permission. Hey, Vilas, you know what? We are going to eat up your gums. Okay, please don't worry. Okay, we'll be eating little by little, not more. Don't worry. We'll not harm you. No. And comes the mosquito. It just bites and goes away. I cannot do it.
Yeah.
So, this body needs to be nourished. It needs to be protected from the outside. So, it requires shelter. Not I require shelter. The body requires shelter. The body requires clothing. And the body requires medicine. Then what do I require? Nothing.
the body requests all that four essential.
Yes, these are the four essentials. So when I say I'm married to a person, it means another body which is like my body, right? Now there are two bodies instead of one. And if I have a child, it's a third body. They all the three now require the same. It requires food, it requires shelter, it requires clothing, it requires medicine. I have come on the road, I'll see hundreds of those bodies which require same food, shelter, clothing, medicine. If I go to a shopping center, if I go to a supermarket, what do I find? Same body, food, shelter, clothing, medicine. And it cannot walk.
Yes.
It cannot walk, so it requires car. That's another body. It's running on a different fuel. It's another body actually. This body is enclosed in that body. You are not driving. You are taking the body to a shopping center. Or I am taking this body to a shopping center. And there I take a trolley. I don't take a trolley. The body holds the trolley.
So that car body requires fuel, paint,
Yes.
like a car garage, and
Yes.
a like some fixing up every once in a while.
And that is what we are also getting done. Every year you show your teeth to a dentist and she's going to clean up and say, hey, this one, I think you require a root canal to this. It's going to pain a little, but you need to get into maintenance mode. And here I think there's one plaque formation. I'll try to remove it without causing much pain to you. And this one and this one. And I think you need to come every 6 months. That's a message I can tell you. Okay, but once in a year you need to see the dentist. I'm telling you, it's very required. Then somebody will say, here your eyes are not that particular going well, so your numbers are increasing. I think you need to visit once in a year, so you need to do that. And then you need to get your health checked. It's been long that you've not checked it, so you need to go for blood pressure, cholesterol, all those tests. So what are we doing? It's a garage. You just take the vehicle to the garage and then sit there and he checks and they say, this one is doing well and that one is not doing well. Well, you know what? You need to have some stunt in your heart because your heart is not pumping that. Then I worry. But I'm taking this body to the garage, which is hospital, basically.
Yeah, I took my wife's car for maintenance. He's saying this tire is like losing its depth and you need to change it soon.
Yeah.
And it's the exact similar conversation I have with Tina where he said this teeth is kind of having a hole, you need to change it soon. I say, maybe that tire I can hold off another 6 months or a year. And same thing I said to Tina. And
Exactly.
Maybe next year I'll do this one.
Exactly. So that's both are same. So that is also made out of the same elements. This is also made out of the same element. This body requires another body to drive. It cannot go on its own. For sure. It requires the same fuel, same maintenance, everything like what you said earlier. This body also requires the same fuel, same maintenance. So basically it's a foolishness to think that this is my body. Because it's not.
And the driver of this body is the consciousness.
That's all. So it leaves and goes and the body just falls. And other people are coming.
Okay. I'm trying to practice it. It's so interesting. Yes.
That's all what we are, Tina. Nothing else.
Yes, I see it. Can imagine it. I see it.
See, whether it's called as Mercedes-Benz, it's called as Rolls-Royce, it's called as Audi, it's called as Volkswagen, called by whatever name, it's still a car.
It's still a car.
It does a basic thing. It just does a basic thing. Whether it has
Got it.
an autonomous driving, or it is a manual driving, it is having this driving, it has a windshield of this kind or dashboard of that kind. It's all the features. But yet it is a car. Its job is to drive from place A to place B.
Just as if whether I have a golden teeth or like a rock teeth or
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever, it doesn't matter. In the same way, this body's job is to take the consciousness from place A to place B.
Got it.
So the driver here is the consciousness, actually. But unfortunately, due to delusion, the driver thinks, I am this body, and drives.
Mhm.
So it's got attached to the body. It's got attached to the mind. It says that, I am the mind. And hence suffers.
Okay. I'll practice it.
Not only you,
I got it.
we three have to practice, or rather 4 have to practice. This guy,
Yeah.
plus another 2, 3, and myself.
And that person sitting there at the couch too.
Persons in there where?
At the couch.
On the couch.
That person in the blue shirt.
Yeah, the person in the blue shirt. Who the person in the blue? It's you.
No,
Tina.
that woman.
That woman. Yes. If we put in that way, yes, that woman has to practice. Not you. The woman has to practice.
Yeah.
So we 3 don't have to practice. The other side of the 3 have to practice.
Right.
Practice what? To drop everything, because you never had those in the first place.
True.
And then the delusion is gone.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you. Try.
No worries.
Okay. 12:10.
Yeah.
12:10, yes, it's 12:10. Right, good
Uh-huh.
morning and have a nice sleep.
Thank you.
Okay, so may not any dreams come to you when you just sleep well,
Yeah.
without any stress or pain or anything.
Why watch a movie during sleep when you don't have to?
Yes, why again watch a movie? Dreams
What?
are movies
Yeah.
anyway, so no dreams, no movies.
No dream. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Good night.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah.